Good afternoon, everyone. I think ever since time immemorial, parents have always wanted the best education for their children. This afternoon, we learn about a man, Professor Rolando Dela Cruz, who brings in the experience of Cambridge University in UK to the Philippines through medium of education, through language, and definitely through experience. So let's find out more about the Darwin International Education System this afternoon right here on Spotlight.
I'm Reggie Tongol, a lawyer by profession, TV host by advocacy.
I'm William Theo. I am a journalist, a commercial model, and also a realtor. Join me and meet the mighty shakers and movers of society
And be inspired by their amazing journey through life here on Spotlight.
Rolando Dela Cruz, isang educator, founder ng isa sa mga prestihiyosong paaralan sa bansa, ang Darwin International School na sinacertify na #1 school sa probinsya ng Bulacan dahil sa sistema ng edukasyon nito na ibinase sa ibang bansa, partikular na sa Cambridge University. Sir, can you tell us a little bit about the Darwin International School system? What is it like?
Well, it's a system of 4 campuses, all located in Bulacan.
Okay.
One is right here in Malolos, another one in San Jose del Monte City, and 2 more in Santa Maria, Bulacan.
Okay. Sir, why Bulacan?
The story behind that is that my parents
Okay.
are both from Bulacan. And then as I was growing up, I grew up in Manila, but every now and then I would come here to Bulacan, and I got so acquainted with it. That's why when I decided to put up a school,
Yes.
I thought that there will be a greater need here in Bulacan,
Right.
rather than putting it up in Manila.
So basically, it's going back to your roots, where
That's
you really
exactly the point.
began. No matter where life brings you,
Yes.
babalik at babalik pa rin tayo kung saan tayo
Right.
somehow.
Very well said. That's it.
Okay. So sir, about Darwin, what makes this curriculum different? Or rather, what is the basic curriculum of Darwin?
The Darwin International School is a Philippine school, which
Okay.
is under the Department of Education.
Aha.
But the curriculum is beyond what the DepEd requires.
I
So
see.
it has an international orientation, it has international character. Like we have additional subjects like personality development. Aside from IT-related subjects, we also have humanities, which is a very important part of the
Yes,
curriculum.
I agree.
And it starts from the lowest level, from toddler up to the high school level. Hindi man naging madali ang magsimula ng isang international school sa isang probinsya, ngunit dahil sa determinasyon, ngayon unti-unti nang kinikilala ang magandang layunin ng paaralang ito. They should be at ease with the idea of adjustment, but other than the fact that they should be able to adjust quite well, they're supposed to be more open-minded. They should look for things that are new, and that they should be willing to adjust and change.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do with our years.
You know, you're making the lives of parents a lot easier because I think every parent is striving to do this for.
I think what we really need in this country right now are students who can be very productive in a globalized world. So whether they work here in the Philippines or they work in Asia or Americas or Europe, they should be able to adjust very well.
isn't it hard? I'm sure this was very challenging, especially in the early years when you were planning the education system. How were you able to overcome these challenges?
It is really very challenging because number one, there's an initial question of why put up an international school in Bulacan.
Yun nga. Oo, yung
And my thinking is that why not? Why should students from Bulacan be denied the idea of obtaining an education that has international character?
And it makes the country more desirable because you don't have to worry about going to Manila to educate your kids.
As a matter of fact, because of the new K-12 curriculum, I was so happy to see in the curriculum the things that we've been doing since we put up the school. For example, it now has the humanities program to be offered in the grade 11 and 12.
Right.
And then, whereas before, as many of our college graduates here might know, humanities is only offered once in college. But now, DepEd has already adopted the idea that there should at least be 2 humanities courses. But, very fortunately, we actually start that down from the lowest level.
I see.
Toddler.
So, sir, your curriculum is until high school.
Until high school.
Until high
Yeah.
school. What inspired you to become an educator? This is now going back to, your youth. Was it always a dream or was it something that came up as you were growing up?
It has always been a dream, and I think I will have to attribute it to Jose Rizal.
Jose Rizal.
Namulat sa simpleng pamumuhay si Rolando, ngunit dahil sa kanyang passion sa pag-aaral, nagsimula siyang magkaroon ng mataas na pangarap, hindi lamang sa kanyang sarili, kundi maging sa mga susunod na henerasyon ng ating bansa.
What inspired you to become an educator? This is now going back to, your youth. Was it always a dream or was it something that came up as you were growing up?
It has always been a dream, and I think I will have to attribute it to Jose Rizal.
Jose Rizal, okay.
Because as a grade 5 student entering grade 6, I was able to read a biography of Jose Rizal, a thin one, just fit for elementary students. And then I read that Rizal traveled all over the world, so I started dreaming of studying abroad also. But a very important part of it was the idea that he actually put up a school in Dapitan. Fit for Filipinos.
So yun ang naging direct inspiration. Sabi niya, kung kaya niya, gagawin ko.
At the time when the Spanish colonial regime that time, of course, cannot accept the idea of giving students an international education. But that is exactly what Rizal did. So if Rizal can do that in Dapitan, why can that be done here in Bulacan?
In Bulacan. So again, it is a modern day innovation, sir.
Well, I would say so.
Okay. So let's talk about your life as a child. How were you like as a son? You were how many were you in the family?
We are 4 in the family. All 4 kids, all boys. At first, I didn't understand much the idea of studying. Eventually, I started trying to catch up and started dreaming, especially when I read Rizal. And then from there, in high school, I really did my best. That's when I started to develop study habits. And then that continued until college, which up to now, I guess I have it with me, and that's what I'm trying to impart with my students.
But sir, with your life so focused on your studies, how did you balance yung social life naman? Meron ba nun nagkaroon ng social life?
I think it's even more than being balanced. Academics is so important for me. I never neglected it. But I also did not neglect the idea of really serving the people.
Okay.
Like while I was a student at UP, I was so active in extracurricular activities, being a member of the student council, and you would probably call me one of the activists during those days. So I remember, for example, one day during a march in summer, I took the PI 100 course or the Rizal course in summer, and I had with me my backpack and my notebooks and the books there. And then I joined the rally after the march. In fact, I joined the march after my class in the morning. So in the afternoon, we marched towards Malacanang, and then it rained. And then it soaked my
Your books, your bag.
That when I went home, I cannot read anymore the notebook, and my examination will be the next day.
So you couldn't study?
Well, I had to use the iron to dry the every page of the notebook, and then of course my parents didn't know about that. I think they will not be so happy to know about that. And then I had to study with the little information I had that evening.
And how was the outcome of the test?
Perfect.
Wow, okay. So, did you have a favorite subject in school?
You know, honestly, you would call me a generalist. It's probably the reason why I'm able to tweak every subject here and there. It's because I really love all the subjects. I love science, for example.
So you love the whole education system, basically. You love
I'm
to
not
learn.
very choosy. I don't have a particular favorite. Like, I love Filipino because I love to write drama, I love theater, I love English as well because I love declamation contest and writing. I love social science, the social science, because it equips me with knowledge of the world.
Yes.
I love the sciences because of the scientific thinking that I'm able to hone eventually. So basically, I really love all the subjects.
Okay, so basically, it was the whole, you enjoyed being a student.
Every minute of it.
Okay, maraming hindi There are a lot of people. I was one of those who didn't like being a student for a little while. But did you have any particular memorable experience, let's say in or out of the campus as a student, that you would say influenced the way you are now?
One would be that event that I told you about my marching while I was in UP. Another one would be the theater activities I got involved in high school. I think that really shaped my idea that one cannot just be on your own. One has to work with a team. You cannot just be the only one that should be at the center of the universe.
Yes. Teamwork is important.
Teamwork is so important. Then and especially now.
Yes. I agree. Teamwork, without a good team, I think yun para bang it's very hard to really move forward.
So difficult to accomplish anything if you. That's why I keep on telling my students, if in case they succeed in life, it is wrong to say that I succeeded because of myself. It's always a case of so many people trying to help you out.
Okay.
So it's not just the person, but the parents, the friends, the school, teachers.
So you believe in the different roles, the different parts, and the importance of the roles that people play in your life.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Was there anything from your parents that you remember? Something that they said, something that they taught you that you would say shaped who you are now?
My parents kept on telling me while I was growing up that education is so important.
Malaki ang naging impluwensya sa kanya ng kanyang mga magulang upang magkaroon siya ng mataas na pagpapahalaga sa edukasyon. At iyon naman ang kanyang ibinahagi sa kanyang mga estudyante.
Was there anything from your parents that you remember? Something that they said, something that they taught you that you would say shaped who you are now?
You see, our family comes from a family of farmers in Bulacan. So, I don't know, it probably goes back to so many generations. And I've always been proud of that. But my parents kept on telling me while I was growing up that education is so important. Once you have it, nobody can take that away from you.
That's true.
And therefore, I value that really so much that I never left that at any point in time during my journey to become educated as a person. And I keep on telling that to my very own students, to friends, and who also have their own children, because indeed, especially at this day and age, it's so important to be educated.
Right, right. It's true. It gives you all of the chances to make it in life. I mean, if you didn't have an education, then it would be hard
It
to...
gives us a lot of opportunities. Of course, there are educated people who behave as if they're not too educated.
Yes, right.
Sometimes one would question, is that person really educated? To the point that probably we're being so unfair to the less endowed.
Right.
But I think if one is really educated, he should be very open-minded
And
and should be willing to reach out to other people.
It's second nature if you're educated. And sir, what would you like to eventually see in one of your students? Let's say one student who has graduated from Darwin, what would you want to see from him or her?
Personally, my dream for my students is that they graduate here with flying colors, because this is a full-fledged honors program. So when they graduate from Darwin, they are certified honor graduates. Be able to adjust, be able to have a big dream, be able to succeed in life, not for themselves, but for others. Hopefully, they should be able to study also abroad and bring back with them the things that they learned abroad that are relevant to our country. I really believe in the idea of Jose Rizal that the youth is really the hope of the fatherland. And therefore, I really pray that my students will be able to contribute to the betterment of our country.
And thus, the cycle begins again.
Yes, and it is endless. That's what
Yes,
I
it is
love
endless.
about education.
Right, right.
My very own teachers educated me. Now, in effect, I'm honoring them by training the new generation of students.
Okay.
Hopefully, the new generation of students, some of them will become professors or engineers or doctors, and they'll be contributing to the fields where the fields that they choose to be part of.
And there you have it, mga kasangbahay. A man who started with a dream, with focus, with discipline, and with hard work, saw that dream through until it came through. And it keeps growing and growing, just to prove to us that we really can do everything that we set our minds to. Join me again next week as we bring to you the lives of the people we believe you should know, right here on Spotlight. What is your favorite book?
As a student and up until now, I love Little Prince.
Little Prince. Okay, so what do you do in your spare time?
I write plays. Sometimes I write poetry. Aside from the fact that I also love traveling.
Okay.
I love going to museums, which I'm trying my best to impart also to my students.
And any favorite sports?
Bowling.
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 Okay. And favorite food?
Persian food. Among Filipino foods, I love kare-kare and binagongan.
Okay. Sir, favorite song or singer?
Sana'y wala nang wakas.
Okay. And any particular person other than your parents that has actually touched your life?
Of course, I mentioned Jose Rizal, but in so many ways also Don Salvador Araneta, who's the founder of the Gregorio Araneta University Foundation.
What about movies, sir?
Movies, I love Godfather 1, 2, 3, Love Story,